views expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of WPSL. However, you are encouraged to like and share them on Facebook. What is going on? Well, you're just in time for the Sue Ellen Sanders Show. To find out more, here's your host, Sue Ellen Sanders.
Welcome to the Sue Ellen Sanders Show. We're so glad you're here listening this weekend. The summer is underway. I mean, we'd like to say it's almost here, but once the kids are out of school, summer is here. There's no doubt. And Don Krupp and Tommy John's plural? John,
yep.
Singular, from the Boys and Girls Club of St. Lucie County are my guests today because summer is not particularly a downtime for the folks at the Boys and Girls Club or for the rest of us who worked for 12 months a year. But there's more kids to deal with in a positive way for the Boys and Girls Club over the summer. More hours to fill, more quality hours to fill. And Dawn is here, and she is the special events coordinator, and she's going to be talking about the Chili Cookoff coming up in the middle of July, Saturday, July 13th. But first, we're going to talk to Tommy John because he is the director of education, and he's going to be talking about some of the programs that Boys and Girls Club has put on for the kids during the summer. Of course, they have their summer camps. They have a lot of different activities going on, but Tommy is here with his hat on as the director of education to tell you that the summer slide is real, right?
That's correct, and we want to make sure that all of our members are better prepared by our program so they can walk into school day one and be successful. While academic success and preventing summer slide is something that we aim to do with our programs, our hands-on learning opportunities, our STEM experiments, we also make sure that the kids can have unstructured play and fun as well, because it is summer after all.
It is summer after all, and I was reading something the other day about the number of families that are out there that for them summer isn't the kids playing in the backyard anymore because business as usual for both parents and they're going to work. And that's why the programs at the Boys and Girls Club are just kind of like that perfect combination of allowing the kids to have fun and be part of sports activities and, get
Absolutely.
dirty and sweaty and enjoy the long, warm weather days. But at the same time, they have some type of planning that helps keep them up to date on school. So tell us about, there's clubhouses and there's other locations open for Boys and Girls Club during the summer. Your activities have really already started this week, right?
They have, absolutely. And something that you pointed out, which I have to say for a lot of people listening out there that think that Boys and Girls Clubs is just a place where kids go and it's a daycare. We're not a daycare at all. We have meaningful programs that are focused on health, preparing kids up for our kids for the future, and making sure that they're on track educationally as well. Our program has began this week. Some very successful programs going on for the kids and at sites all across the county, as far north as Lakewood Park and all the way south, all the way down to Mariposa Elementary. So all the way across the county we serve.
So parents who are listening or neighbors who are listening and trying to give advice to parents and caregivers or grandparents whose kids are visiting for the summer, how do they find out more about the programs?
With our programs being so popular, many of the programs are at capacity or have a wait list, but they can find out where all the locations are. But the best way to do that would be going to our website, bgcofslc.org, and find a clubhouse that's close to their community. They can use the clubhouse locator and find where's the closest location for them, and the phone number and contact information for the director is available on there.
So you can actually go on the website and find that clubhouse locator and put in either your home address or your work address, depending on where you it's more convenient for the kids to be closer to you. What age group do you cover?
We serve kids ages 6 all the way up to 18. But for our summer program, they have to have completed a year of kindergarten. So it would be a kindergartner going into first grade. If they're going into kindergarten, we want them to come back and see us in the fall, but we want them to have an understanding of what school is before they come to us. So unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to serve them unless they've completed kindergarten.
So completed kindergarten all the way through
all the way through seniors in high school.
Seniors in high school. And for anyone who's a teenager that you might be thinking, well, I want to go do something fun this summer, but I don't want to be hanging out with a bunch of little kids. What would your answer be to that?
Yeah, let me tell you about something. We have something going on that's very special for our teen program this summer. We've actually partnered with CareerSource to offer all of our teens career readiness training. So at the end of the summer, our kids at all of our teen sites are going to walk away with a portfolio, and that portfolio will have a resume. It will have a reference letter. It will also have in the portfolio how to request a reference letter, because many of our teens, when they're applying to jobs, don't know how to even request a reference letter. So they're going to learn all of those skills, and all the kids at the Boys and Girls Club have soft skills. So I would hope that anyone listening out there that's looking for a good employee would consider some of our kids that are going through this program. A great partnership with CareerSource. Through that as well, they're also going to be doing job shadowing and career readiness field trips as part of this program as well.
So this is a terrific opportunity for teenagers to get something that they're putting on their resume, as well as figure out how to do the resume and the reference letter and the timeliness of the reference letter. I can't tell you how many kids that I taught in high school approached me with 2 days notice and said, I need a reference letter, and oh, by the way, I need it by midnight tonight to download. It's so important to show what you do and not just what you've done in the past. And CareerSource does a great job with the general population, and I can't wait to see how this program for teenagers takes off. It's really a great opportunity.
We're extremely excited about it, and part of it that I'm even more excited about is that with appropriate participation in the program, regular attendance, and doing what they're supposed to with the program, they can actually even earn a small stipend with this as well. So for a lot of them, it's a way to earn a few dollars over the summer as well, and we'll teach them how to put their check in the bank account too and save a little bit.
Along with the other knowledge. That's
Absolutely.
great too. All of these skills that you're talking about, Tommy, and I may be aging myself a little, but some of the stuff that we learned as young adults in school, and there's not really an opportunity to teach that in our middle schools and high schools, that readiness for life, how to deposit a check, how to endorse a check, how to write a check out, how to put together a resume, how to approach an adult, in a way that, there's a lot of our kids today, and I would dare to say not the kids in Boys and Girls Club programs, that have a tendency to call adults around them by their first name.
Right.
And that just amazes me. And Dawn is smiling because you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Yeah. And the Boys and Girls Club kids, you're talking about soft skills that they have. And one of their soft skills that is something that you can teach is manners. And that's really important to have. So it sounds like there's a lot of opportunities for teenagers too. And a situation where they're not at home, they're not bored, they're not playing video games all day or running around on the streets, where they could get in trouble or get into something because they just had nothing else to do.
We're going to provide them with that safe, structured environment, place to grow in the summer, and prepare them to be on track for their future goals. That's what we're all about.
And if I was a mom or a dad or a grandma or a guardian listening to this, I'd be, sign me up. Sign me up. Where is the dotted line? But Part of, especially with the teenagers, is getting the kids to agree too that, they want to be there and participate. This is the first year that you're partnering with Career Source, but you at the Boys and Girls Club have a long record of working with teenagers and providing fun and different activities for them.
We do, absolutely. So in addition to the Career Source partnership with our teens at the clubs for this summer, we also have our junior staff program, which allows our staff to our teens to actually apply and to help work with some of our younger members and to see what it's like to be an employee of Boys and Girls Club. Same thing with they go through an application process, they prepare a resume, and then they actually work and help mentor some of our younger members. Something very exciting that we have going on this summer is a brand new, completely new athletic league across the county, and our teens are excited about that as well. The program itself isn't for the teens, but we have teens participating as volunteer coaches and helping us out with the flag football league as well.
So what is the age group that the program is for?
So for our flag football league, it's for our 8 to 10-year-olds. Sign-ups were in May. It was just $10 to sign up, and with that $10, they get 7 games, 7 practices, a team T-shirt, mouth guard, and end-of-season award. And there's 4 teams in the county, 2 in Fort Pierce and 2 in Port St. Lucie. This is just the beginning of Boys and Girls Clubs of St. Lucie County's vision for a comprehensive athletic program.
I love it because one of the big problems with kids not being able to participate in athletics is then when they hit high school and organize teams in high school, their skill levels may not be as high as the kids who were able to be ferried around by their parents going to, different types of sports leagues and playing sports after school. And this is something that they can be a part of, and I hope to see it grow. So flag football is one of the programs you have. Do you have any other sports programs?
Well, we have a lot of programs through Boys and Girls Clubs of America that we have for our kids. One of which is Triple Play Body, which gets the kids up, engaged, accomplishing group tasks together via physical fitness. At a couple of our sites, we even have personal trainers coming in to teach the kids about eating healthy and the importance of a good diet and how that relates to your personal wellness.
And I'm really glad you mentioned that too, because the last time that I had Megan in here, we were talking, and Melanie, we were talking about how the different sites have different things that they offer the kids. Mm-hmm. And part of that is because you have volunteers who step forth to be able to work with your club kids and train them or teach them. And so, you might have a drum corps at one clubhouse one year because somebody is volunteering to do that, and another year you might have personal trainers coming in at another location. All of those things lead me to the next thing that I was going to mention, and your need for volunteers. Absolutely. Because volunteers can step up, and you may not have a lot of experience with particularly Boys and Girls Club or with camp type activities, but if you have some skill that you can teach the kids, then who would they talk to about volunteering?
Yeah, so I agree 100% that engaging volunteers with our mission and people from the community providing their expertise to our kids is so paramount to the success of the program and the success of the kids. And that's one of my visions as the director of education as well, is to really get people from the community engaged to take our programs to the next level for the kids. They can go to the web. I would direct everyone to the website as well if they're interested in volunteering. Mm-hmm. I believe there's a volunteer button that they can click, and they can fill out the application right online, and it'll be directed towards one of our team members who will contact them.
And tell them what their interests are.
Absolutely.
And it also, it doesn't have to do sports. It doesn't have to be physical activity. It could be, I know at one point in the past that you had a sewing club at one of the
etiquette.
Yes.
We would love any skills that you have. I was just at a lady's house the other day, and she's going to become a tennis volunteer. So we're going to have a tennis coach at one of our clubs because somebody is kind enough to give up their time and give the kids their talent and really come in and work with the kids. So we really appreciate our volunteers.
That's great. And there's a lot of things that you could apply for: the volunteer activity, the signing up for camp spots, getting information for your kids of all ages on the website. And you also have a very active Facebook page too, so you can probably pick up a lot of information. Definitely like Boys and Girls Club of St. Lucie County on their Facebook, because then you'll find out about all of the different things, including the special events. And Dawn is patiently waiting because she is the queen in charge of Chili Cookoff this year, and we're going to be talking about Chili Cookoff as it comes up. Now, Tommy, a lot of your kids are involved putting things together for special events too. Don't you have a volunteer crew that like performs at special events and goes out into the community?
Yeah, we do have a lot of our kids. We like to cater our programming to whatever our members' interests are. And so we had some young ladies who were interested in a dance team at one of our clubs. And we invested in that dance team, gave them the space to practice, made sure we had the resources for them. So now that dance team actually goes out in the community, performs all over, and that's just one small way in how we really take our interests of our members and put those at the forefront. And that's kind of how I also base this summer's programming. Different themes that the kids are interested in, engage the staff to include all of their wonderful talents to pass on to our kids as well.
So the staff that you already have hired, part of your team, they may have other abilities that weren't even part of them getting their job at the Boys and Girls Club, but that, and it is so much fun to teach something you love to do.
And when you're teaching something that you love, you pass that energy on, and that really just builds relationships. I tell all the staff that if you don't have a relationship with the members, you don't have anything. You can have any knowledge in the world, but if someone's not willing to listen to what you have to say, it doesn't really matter. So that's why relationships are king with Boys and Girls Clubs, and we do everything we can to build positive relationships with all of our members.
All year round, you have different activities that build different types of, you call them soft skills, including leadership skills. You have a program. Are you involved as well in the leadership program where you have the youth competing for in their speaking skills?
That would be our Youth of the Year program, which is Boys and Girls Club's premier program. That just concluded, but believe it or not, we're already working on it for next year.
Figured,
and I actually serve on that committee as well. We had some really great candidates compete this year from all of our clubhouse locations, and the kids actually collected reference letters. They wrote essays, wrote a speech, competed in our county, and then our winner, Kayla, actually from the Ken Pruitt Clubhouse, she went on and competed at the state level and represented us and made us all very proud.
A couple years ago, your Youth of the Year actually won the state award. It may have been more than a couple of years ago.
I've been with Boys and Girls Clubs for about 10 years, but only with St. Lucie County for about a year and a half, so that one doesn't ring a bell for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but the soft skills that you talk about also give those teenagers an opportunity to excel in their academics because they have that speaking ability and they have that ability to connect with a group, and they win great prizes too. And then you've got the younger kids that are growing up that are getting the big excitement is being able to compete for that.
So many people ask me, how did I prepare, or how did we as a team prepare these kids to succeed for Youth of the Year within a couple months from the time that they applied? I said, this isn't a couple month process. These have all been members for over 2 years, and the product that they're seeing is a result of all the programs that we implement every day with Boys and Girls Clubs. There's no magic that goes into taking a teen and making them this great public speaker within a couple months. These is years and years of work from qualified club professionals that resulted in this.
It is, and it's another opportunity for volunteering too, because I know a number of my friends volunteer as part of the committee and work with the kids, helping them get ready for Youth of the Year. And so it's an opportunity for a lot of business people to work one-on-one with the youth or with them as a group, encouraging them to be better speakers. So there's a lot of, one of my favorite things about Boys and Girls Club is the connectivity with the community. And I know there's also a drive going on now, and I wanted to make sure that we mentioned the drive, because you're doing, through Boys and Girls Club, you're doing a drive for art supplies, educational supplies. What else are you looking for, and how can people get involved?
And just with that, what I'll say is that many people give at back to school time, which is outstanding. We appreciate that. We love that. But for Boys and Girls Clubs, the whole year is back to school time. We're always using supplies. We're always using pencils, paper, crayons, any materials that we can use for science experiments or for STEM education. We will accept those donations year-round.
Let's talk for a minute about the STEM education, because I know that's new. And if I'm spending a lot of time with Tommy now and not with Dawn, she's not feeling left out, because Tommy's got something else that's coming up. And so we want to get all the information that we can out of him. And Dawn, you know, if you want to chime in on any of this conversation, you know, just because I'm looking at him doesn't mean I'm leaving you out. But you know, as far as donating items, you know, you're right. It's not just a back-to-school drive when it comes to Boys and Girls Club. There are a lot of opportunities and a lot of different things you can donate.
And so one of our more popular programs, which has been extremely successful, is a program we were able to implement because of a 21st Century grant that we received at one of our clubhouses. And that program is a Lego education program. And it's helped to teach our members about basic simple machines in our younger grades, and then they learn how to test those machines out. And in our older group, they were actually doing basic coding, where they would design a machine and then they would program the sequence for the coding and test out their machine. And we're hoping to expand that program in the future into robotics. It's my vision to see our kids compete in robotics competitions.
And all these activities give those kids who spend the summer or their after-school hours working on this at Boys and Girls Club really a leg up when they're working with their peers, because they already have the knowledge. And who knew, I mean, that Legos were engineering? Who knew that, you know, when kids spend all their time building the different types of things, that it was actually an opportunity for them to be learning more about STEM education and the computer work as well, the coding.
And the STEM education and experiments is something which we've taken and put at the forefront of our programming. And just to hit on summer a little bit, we're implementing STEM, science, group projects at all of our sites this summer with a great new program, which was sponsored by a funder called Experiments Experience, where the kids are going to work in groups to just do things like that, create catapults, create zip lines, test those out. As part of our Summer of Fun initiative, we want to make sure that the kids are learning, but we're going to make sure they're having some fun while they're doing that as well.
I know you have different weeks of activity for, especially for the younger kids too, and you've kind of labeled one week maybe Water Week, and another week might be something like Superhero Week.
Absolutely.
And can people who are interested in their kids being a part of this, can they just pick and choose which weeks they want to be a part of?
They can attend, but like I said, each club's availability and a wait list depends on a location by location, so they would need to go through our website and see which location they would prefer to attend. But yeah, we have a lot of great themes. Right now we're in the middle of Old School Week, where we're teaching our members about different decades, and staff are dressing up in platform shoes and having a good time with the kids and having disco parties. And next week we're looking forward to implementing some Disney fun with the kids. So it's just going to be a complete summer of fun, different every week, and it keeps it fresh with the kids and all of our staff as well.
What do people need to know about signing their kids up for programs that are coming up during the school year?
So I'm going to refer everyone back to the website again.
That's okay.
You can go bgcofslc.org. We have a listing of all of our clubhouse locations. The price does vary depending on the location that they wish to attend. So that's something I unfortunately can't give a cost
Right, and
for
it's also
everyone, but
income
it varies.
based too, isn't it? Sliding scale still?
Depending on, often with scholarship, depending on what their ability is. But like I said, the price does vary by location, and we have 20 locations open across the county for the school year, which includes actually a brand new middle school dedicated site, which we saw that in middle school is so important to support that group. We don't want to lose those kids. We want to keep them engaged with the mission. There's a lot of things going on kids have happening in middle school. So we just opened our 20th site at the Forest Grove Middle School.
That's so super.
Just specifically focused on our 6th, 7th, and 8th graders to make sure that they have a successful high school career and middle school career.
That's awesome. And all this information is stuff that you can get on the website, and we'll run the website on the bottom of the feed here. So if you're listening to us on the radio, you can go back and watch the YouTube version of this and get that information. You're listening to the Sue Ellen Sanders Show. We're talking to the folks from Boys and Girls Club. We're going to take a brief break, and we'll be back in a minute with more. Welcome back to the Sue Ellen Sanders Show, and Tommy John, the Director of Education for the Boys and Girls Club, was my guest for the first part of this show, and now we're going to be talking to Dawn Nupp, who is the she is the special events coordinator for the Boys and Girls Club, and she has definitely got her work cut out for her over the next 6 weeks, because not even 6 weeks from now,
1 month.
1 month, the Chili Cookoff is coming up on Saturday, July 13th, and you've got a bunch of teams that have already signed up. People can also sign up to be vendors. Tell us what we need to know about the Chili Cookoff.
You need to know that is our 37th annual Chili Cookoff, and approximately 5,000 people come through the doors to witness this spectacle.
And it's air conditioned. So
if
you used to go back in the old days where part of it was outside, it is now completely inside at the Havert Finn Civic Center.
It is. And we do have, like you said, we have vendors that we are still accepting spaces for. We also have 30 teams so far, so we have room for a couple more teams. So if you decide that you like to cook and you like chili and you want to be involved and you like winning awards, this is a great place to be.
So what's the difference between being a team and being a vendor?
Good question. So a vendor is if you want to come out and you want to get your business noticed, you want to hand out some of your business literature, maybe some of those little tchotchkes. Some of our vendors even sell things there. So they're mainly coming to just hand out and sell things. Our teams are actually setting up booths in the main part of the Fenn Center. They are competing. They are making a competition chili. They're making a chili that they sell to the public. They have booths, and those booths, they decorate to go with the theme.
And the theme this year is literary.
It's books.
Yes.
And so we're very excited. We have a lot of great topics this year that have already been chosen. We got some Jurassic Park in there, and Where's Waldo, and Beauty and the Beast, and a couple different Cat in the Hat books. So we definitely have a big variety of different books for everybody.
So if you want to be a team and you haven't signed up yet, you could still do that by contacting Dawn at the Boys and Girls Club. Are you at the main number, at the 460-9918 number?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Okay, so 460-9918, and you can call and talk to Dawn about the Chili Cookoff. Those teams that are competing, you know, as you said, you have certain requirements as a team.
We do.
So as a team, you have to have a competition chili. Mm-hmm. You have to have some sort of fundraiser for the Boys and Girls Club as part of your competition.
Correct.
It could either be at the event itself, or I know my friends at Sailfish Brewery. She did, Taylor put together a tasting of different breweries and restaurants throughout the Treasure Coast and had them all, and all the money raised at that tasting, which was incredible, by the way. All that money went to the Sailfish Brewery's entry for their chili cook-off team. So you could do something like that. You could do something like, I know some businesses who just sell a fundraiser like a candy bar or something like that. What are some of the other ideas that people do for fundraisers?
So a lot of the pre-fundraiser stuff that they do before chili, we've had some that do dine and donates. So they go in, they get a certain percentage. If you say you're there with whichever one of our teams that has hosted it, then they give a certain percentage back, and that comes to us. We've also had the BOCC, the library, they have done where they ask books to be donated, and then they turned around and sold the books, and that is their pre-fundraising money. Some of them have done Jean Day or Jersey Day. We had one that did an interim chili cook-off at their business, the sheriff's office. Yep. So
Yes.
that was how they determined who was going to win to make the competition chili, and it was also determined who was going to make the chili to be sold to the public.
So there were 2 winners.
There
That's
were
a great
2
idea.
winners, and it was donations were accepted that day. We went and we participated that day in helping to judge the chilies.
As a 20-year radio talk show host with WPSL, I've been a participant on their team for very many years, and also in past years through the Tribune and through Harbor Federal before it became not Harbor Federal. But you have a variety of different entities. Some are nonprofits, some are agencies. You mentioned the Sheriff's Department. Some are private businesses like the Sailfish Brewery. Sometimes people partner together.
Mm-hmm.
You've got so you have the chili that they have to cook. You have some type of fundraiser they have to have. Then there's also the Little Miss Chili Pepper and Mr. Pee Wee.
There is, yes.
Do you have to have somebody for those contests too?
You don't have to enter someone, but if you want to be put in to get a special award, you have to have those Little Chili Pepper and Pee Wee.
You have to have all the boxes checked.
You have to have all the boxes checked to win that award. So
Yeah.
that is something good for our listeners to know. If you're
Yeah.
a team, make sure you get those into us.
And those kids are adorable, especially the kids that want to be on the stage. You always have, it's kind of like 50-50. You got the kids that can't wait to be on the stage because they're little.
Mm-hmm.
They're what? Age maybe
3 to 5.
Yeah. And then you've got the other ones that are kind of pushed up there
Mhm.
by moms or dads or grandpas who said, you know, you were fine performing this in the living room. I don't know why you don't want to do this in front of a bunch of strangers.
I remember going to the chili cook-off because I've been in St. Lucie County many, many years, and I went to the chili cook-off, and they're like, "Oh, you should enter your son into the Mr. Pee Wee," and I'm like, "Well, what is he going to do?" And they're like, "Oh, he just has to have a quick little talent." I was like, I don't know what he was for. I'm like, I don't know what he can do. And he goes, "I'll do it, Mom. I'll do it." And he gets up there, and the guy asked him what his talent was and could he perform it. And at first he froze up and he was very quiet. And then all of a sudden he let out this huge roar, and he was a T-Rex dinosaur.
That's awesome. And that's the thing is the judges who are members of the community, and I've
Yes.
been a judge before, and it's a lot of fun seeing the kids up there. They're just judging the performance as well as the kids' attitude and the excitement about being up there. I too, my son is 26 now, and he's a former Mr. Chili Pepper contestant. But you don't need, so I think I would say the biggest quality that you need in your performers for your kids' contests would be the willingness for your child to get up on stage.
That would be correct.
So keep that in mind. There's also a regular stage performance too. Do all of the teams need to have that, or is that one of those check the boxes for certain prizes? Isn't there usually a not anymore? There's not a regular stage competition that's
Between each of the teams?
yeah.
Not something I've been versed on.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
If it is,
so
I might want to go read my notes again.
no. Because they're it was like they used to have like dances and
Well,
little.
we do have people come in, like we're having our club kids go up there, and our club kids will be performing, and that's a great way for people to see, like Tommy was saying, that it's not just they're going there and they're sitting all day. We're not a babysitting service. There's actually things that they want to learn, and we have amazing staff that is willing to, if they don't know how to do it, they look it up on YouTube and they teach the kids. And so our club kids will be out there to showcase and to show the community what they're learning at Boys and Girls Clubs.
Are there other stage performances that are going to be going on during
There
the
might
day?
be. You'll have to come out and check it out to
Okay,
find out. I might
okay.
just surprise you.
Okay, sounds good. One thing you can count on, though, from team to team to team, as you go up and down the rows at the Chili Cookoff at Havert Finn, you will see a lot of different kids' activities. So
Yes.
if you have kids of any age, there's a lot of things for them to participate in. And each of the teams that's out there with a regular booth, they're looking to involve the kids in activity, and sometimes the parents as well. One of my favorite booths in past years, though, is it's not really terrific on the kids' activities, but probably one of the most popular booths, and that's the booth for Hoskins and Turco with the peanut butter pie. So have you had their peanut butter pie yet?
I have not, but I've
Oh
heard many
my
amazing things and that they
gosh.
sell out every year.
And one woman who I think she may have retired now from the law office. One woman makes all those peanut butter pies, and she doesn't want anyone to help her because it's an old family recipe. And so she makes hundreds of peanut butter pies, and it's sold both by the slice and it's also sold by the pie.
So that's another great fundraiser that they did. Hoskins did. They sold the peanut butter pies, and that's part of their fundraiser. Other people sell cornbread and they sell pasta to go with their chili. Some do the activities, like you said. You also have the Fort Pierce PD and the city of Fort Pierce that always has the jail. So if you want to put somebody in jail and they have to pay their way out or sit there for the time period, that's always a great
That's an
fun
excellent
activity.
and it's a great fundraiser too. And it also is a terrific photo op.
It is. It is a great photo op.
So as you said, if you ever wanted to put someone in jail, or if you ever wanted a picture of you on the other side of the bars smiling, then that would be a good opportunity. So you could either be a team, you can sign up to be a team, you can be a part of a team that's already, maybe your business or your agency already has a team that's going on and you can be a part of it. You could be putting together a booth as a vendor if you have some things that you want to showcase for these 5,000 people who are coming to the Chili Cookoff.
Correct.
And you can also just be someone who's going to the Chili Cookoff.
You could also be a sponsor. We still have sponsorship opportunities available. You can get your name out. If you cannot make it and you're not going to be in town, you can still get your name out there.
So how do the sponsorships work? Do we need to go on the handy dandy website that Tommy spoke of?
If you go to the website, there is all the information there, but you can also reach out to me at the 460-9918 number. And again, my name is Dawn Knupp, and they can talk to me and I can walk them through it.
So you can be a sponsor, and sponsorships start as low as
$250.
So $250 and up, and even if you're not in town or you're not able to go to the Chili Cookoff, you can still get your name out in front of all those people.
Absolutely.
So if people just want to come to the Chili Cookoff, and then go around and taste everybody's chili. You mentioned that each of the teams not only has to have their competition chili, that's a big deal, that whole competition chili thing. Everybody, you got the rules for the competition chili, and you can't, no beans and no fillers. And other than that, everybody tries to make it just a little bit different so theirs will stand out to the judges.
Right.
And then you select the best chili, and then there's other awards for other things as well.
There are. Yeah, obviously have your best booth. We want them to decorate their booths to replicate their book. So if they chose Jurassic Park, you want it to look like Jurassic Park. And I know I've already had a sneak peek with a little commercial we did, and that is our Hop Life team that is doing Jurassic Park, and they do have a dinosaur, a T-Rex, that will be there the day of.
They do have a
They
dinosaur.
do have
So
a
the bar
dinosaur.
is raised really high.
The bar is very high this
Yes.
year. We have the St. Lucie Mets, who won one of our coveted double booth spaces, and they are doing Harry Potter. She's not going in lightly with this.
Yes.
She's hitting it hard.
Well, because there's a lot of books to cover with Harry Potter, so there's a lot of characters and a lot of costume ideas, I'm sure. A lot of great books that are out there, and a variety of books I know that have already been chosen to be a part of it. If you're going, as I said, you could go and taste the chili. Every one of the booths will have chili out there. It won't be the competition chili, although some booths might just make a double batch and have you be tasting the competition chili.
You could be. I haven't heard it, how people are doing it yet, but I know some did say that they do their competition different than their chili that they sell to the general public. And I heard some say, no, they're going to do both. So
you can go and taste the chili. You can go and see the stage performances. You can go from booth to booth. You can enjoy yourself plenty of food, plenty of soda and beer, plenty of peanut butter pie. So if you haven't had that peanut butter pie yet, I think I had that for lunch several years in a row. And then I got somebody else to split a pie with me because I wanted to take one home, but I didn't want the whole pie. And I was really sorry when my half of the pie was gone, I might say.
I wish I would have kept the other half.
I know. But a lot of fun things. What time does it all start for the people who want to come and visit?
It starts at 11 a.m. for our spectators that are coming in, and it ends at 5 p.m.
So 11 to 5, and there'll be something different going on all day, all morning. Well, not much of a morning. It starts at 11. But the teams will be there a little bit earlier setting up.
You can also enter into our adult chili eating contest. You can enter your kids into the kids Jell-O eating contest.
Jell-O eating contest. Is that new? I don't recall that.
No. So this is there's plenty of stuff for everybody to do that day.
And the chili eating contest, that's the one that you have to eat as fast as you can, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that is adults.
Yes, that is adults.
And I have to say, in the years that I've been to the chili eating contest, I've never really seen the chili come back. So everybody who's competed in it, even though they're eating chili really fast, and that's a difficult thing to do.
That is.
It stays down. Is the Jell-O eating contest for the kids, is it as much as you can eat too?
You know what? I'm not really sure. I wasn't able. I've just been hired on a few months ago, and so I haven't experienced that yet.
Well, this will be really exciting to see. I wonder if they get to pick their flavored Jell-O.
I don't know that either, but that's a good question I need to ask.
It is. I'd be more likely to enter a Jell-O eating contest than a chili eating contest on my own. And actually, so Dawn, you probably don't know that you are actually talking to somebody who has won, whose prize-winning chili was picked as a winner about 3 or 4 years ago, maybe longer than that, maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
That's awesome.
Yes, I did have a winning chili, and it was before somebody asked what was the magic ingredient. My husband was the main chef. I was the sous chef, so I was chopping up all the vegetables. And his main claim to fame is mixing up a variety of beef and pork. But I know last year, I think Taylor at Sailfish Brewing Company, Taylor Wetchell, I think that she had a chili that had venison in it.
I did hear somebody else had a gator chili last year.
Ooh. Now that's interesting.
So there's all kinds of different meats out there that you can use.
Yeah. So if you're competing with your chili, you do have rules on your chili for your competition chili, but you can serve whatever else you like at your booth.
Correct.
Yeah. So and that's a lot of fun. And in past years, for I think it was $5, you came in and you got 5 different little cups.
A chili sampler kit.
Yeah. So you had a chili sampler kit, and you could pick any of those 30 teams to go to and fill your cup up with chili. Or if you really liked one particular chili, you could just go back there 5 times. Yeah. So a lot of fun, a lot of things to look forward to. And as you said, just a month away. So Saturday, July 13th, for the public and kids coming to see it 11 to 5. You don't have to RSVP. Is there a charge to get in?
There is not a charge to get in.
One of the last remaining free things in St. Lucie County. Then you have the opportunity. You can bring, your kids. You can bring your neighbors' kids. You can bring your Boy Scout troop.
Whomever you want. Your family, your whole family, your extended family.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun, a lot of kids' activities, a lot of adult activities, an opportunity for you to do something with your family where you're bonding together. And if you, as Don said, if you still want to come in as a team, there's still a couple places for a team.
There is. You still have time, and I'll get you caught up as quick as I can.
And even if you haven't done a fundraiser yet, you could still
Absolutely.
put it together and get everything together. Again, vendors and sponsors still available too. You can get that information on the website or call Dawn.
Yep, just give me a call.
At 460-9918. So 37 Annual Chili Cookoff.
Yes, ma'am.
That's a lot of years of a chili cook-off, and it started in Cliff. Remind me, it was a little hotel parking lot, the Holiday Inn.
Yeah,
the Holiday Inn parking lot. And I wasn't in town. I moved to town about 6 or 7 years after it started. So by the time I moved to town, it was already at the old Civic Center. So it was already an indoor-outdoor one. And there's been a lot of different activities that have gone on with the Chili Cook-Off. And it's been about 4 or 5 years now that it's been through the Boys and Girls Club, too.
Correct.
So it's definitely an event that all of St. Lucie County can get behind. It's something fun and different and that everybody looks forward to. If it's summer in St. Lucie County, it's time for the Chili Cook-Off.
It's time.
So 11 to 7, July 13th.
11 to 5.
11 to 5. July 13th, and that's a Saturday, and it's coming up right around the corner, so put it on your calendar or go ahead and talk to some of your business associates if you think you could put together a booth or be a vendor or be a sponsor. Any of those things you can do for the Boys and Girls Club. All of the money that's raised from the teams goes to the Boys and Girls Club. And, even if you are another nonprofit that works close hand in hand with the Boys and Girls Club, it's an opportunity for you to strengthen your partnerships.
Absolutely.
So a lot of fun for everybody. In general, the Boys and Girls Club of St. Lucie County has got so many different things going on that it's hard to keep track of everything, and it's hard to keep track of everybody. Dawn is the special events coordinator, and even though your focus right now, Dawn, is the Chili Cook-Off, you have other special events that you do over the course of the year. What are some of the other things we have to look forward to beyond the summer?
This current year that's coming up, we have our Fishing for Futures tournament. It's a fishing tournament that will be August 31st. We also have our Steak and Steak, which is our big gala. That's in October. We have our golf tournament that's in November. And I hope I'm not forgetting anything. As Tommy was stating earlier, and it's already passed, is our Youth of the Year competition that happens around January, February.
It happens around January, February, but you already have the teenagers that are preparing for it now.
Yes, we run those programs all year round to keep them prepared.
There's a lot of fun things that are going on this summer at the Boys and Girls Club that you can be a part of. Or if you're listening and you just like to do your part and you want to be part of the drive to bring in supplies, as Tommy said, pens, pencils, notebooks, papers, art supplies, sporting
equipment is a big thing. I saw something today that somebody just donated some basketballs.
It was Port St. Lucie Police Department that just donated a bunch of sporting equipment.
Yes, I just saw a picture and ran by it really quickly. So those are things that they go through. Obviously, paper towels, Kleenex, those are things that we can use as well. Anything that we can use during the regular school year, plus fun things to do during the summer that we absolutely can use.
And that's great. And also, there's a lot of information on the website, as Tommy mentioned, www.b
B as in boy, GC, like Girl Club of SLC.org.
Okay, and you can also like them on Facebook, and then you'll get to see all the pictures and see all the information.
And upcoming events as well.
As well. So, John, thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
You've been listening to the Sue Ellen Sanders Show. I'm here every weekend. We'll see you next week with more.
Archives of this show are on YouTube under WPSL TV. And join us every Saturday afternoon at 1, Sunday morning at 11 for the Sue Ellen Sanders Show here on WPSL. And we'll see you at the Chili Cookoff in July.